longer at the...
Bands released their long-awaited 17th album, We Can't Dance, their first in 5 years. They've got a new single out and next year start a mammoth world tour. Box office travel to leafy Surrey, where Robert Sandwell managed to get all 3 members of the band together for a very rare TV interview.
It was here, at Charterhouse School in the late 1960s, that 4 sixth formers started writing some strangely whimsical songs. Their big break came on Open Day, when they met up with one of the school's most famous old boys, Jonathan King, who supplied them first with their name and then with a recording contract. More than 20 years later, Britain's only public school supergroup are still based less than 10 miles down the road. This is Genesis HQ. It's where they did all the swatting and the recording of their new album, We Can't Dance. But there have been some changes over the years. Only 2 of the original lineup are still here, and somewhere along the way they've hooked up with a bloke called Phil Collins.
I like the idea of actually hiring a crew just to sort of constantly film us, just to make us feel good, you know? We never go anywhere without our personal film crew. When I went to the audition, out on the patio of Peter Gabriel's parents' house in the sunshine, which seemed like complete decadence. It was like the grand piano was out on the patio and the drums were out on the patio underneath the sunshine. It all seemed like complete miles away from what I'd been used to.
In those days, back in the early 70s, the band's style was defined by a gorgeous, pouting Peter Gabriel. Gabriel's increasing fascination with theatrical props took Genesis to the brink of performance art and dangerously close to art school self-indulgence too.
Going way back to early Genesis, we started with much more sort of, on the whole, fantasy lyrics, very indirect. And now, obviously, Phil's been writing lyrics since '78. When he sort of first started doing that, and Tony and I have changed a lot. We're much more direct now, I think.
This directness dates from 1975, when Peter Gabriel left the band and Phil Collins took over as vocalist.
Right here by my side,
The things I said to myself was, one, that I wanted people to hear the words again, and I wanted people to hear the melodies again, because I felt that the theatrics had got a little bit out of hand.
The new Genesis single reflects Phil Collins' belief in strong tunes with social messages. No Son of Mine is about an abused child.
I don't ever expect a good review from the music press, which is really, it's not so much music press anymore. I don't think we've ever been fashionable. There was a period when we managed to get on the front page of Melody Maker purely because Pete put on a funny hat. That was the basic.
And a dress.
You know, and a dress, right.
I mean, what there is to say about us is about our music, not about us as people, the way we dress, our lifestyles. There's never been any kind of angle they can get hold of, which is why I feel they've given up with this. They've been trying to sort of get this thing to say about us, and they haven't found anything.
But there is a great advantage to never being fashionable, because it means you never die with the fashion.
Unfashionable, but enduringly popular. That's Genesis in a nutshell. A very English sort of rock band.
There's always something when you come back home after a tour and you come back to your front door, you know, and it's a little village, you know, I mean, it's great. I don't ever see us as a band, especially these two, I don't ever see them moving to America.
The Genesis album We Can't Dance will be out later this month, and now the only man here who remembers that first concert.